Housing Development Progress. Number one and the best. Housing Development Progress. Number one. Number one. Housing Development Progress. Number one and the best. Housing Development Progress. Number one. Housing Development Progress. In Nigeria. Housing Development Progress. In Africa. Housing Development Program and the globe. Number one, Housing Development Program.
It's another interesting time right here in the studio as we bring you another eye-opening episode of Housing Development, your most reliable source of housing information. As always, I am Flora Ani, your housing diva. President Bola Tinubu just last week assigned portfolios to all the 45 ministers designate whose nominations were recently confirmed by the Senate. And 2 days ago on Monday, the ministers were sworn into office. Architect Ahmed Dangiwa is now the Minister for Housing and Urban Development. A big congratulations to Architect Ahmed Dangiwa. Well, there is hope that good times await Nigerians' housing and mortgage sector with Ahmed Dangiwa as Minister. Stakeholders in the sector have laid out areas that we should focus on in order to achieve better and positive results within the next 4 years. Let's start by bringing the news making rounds in the sector. Stay with me.
Housing Development Advocacy Network, HDAN, has dished out ways to achieve housing data mentioned in the Stakeholders Declaration at ARHS 2023 for Nigeria housing sector so as to enhance housing data availability in Nigeria. Speaking with journalists in Abuja on Monday, the Executive Director of HDAN, Festus Adebayo, listed some of the necessary steps required by the Ministry of Housing to solve the problem of data in the housing sector. One of the areas mentioned is the need to build statistical capacity in the Federal Ministry of Housing. To ensure that the ministry is on top of the data production agenda for the housing market, the PRS department at the ministry needs to collaborate with the NBS to build staff capacity. The NBS should collaborate with industry stakeholders including NPC and CBN to harness the data sets required for the sector.
Welcome back. For more, you can visit www.africanhousingnews.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Housing TV Africa for more housing news updates. The newly inaugurated Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesome Wike, has warned those distorting the master plan of the FCT to expect demolitions of their properties soon as it vows to bring sanity back to FCT. Take a listen.
People who are distorting the master plan of Abuja. Too bad. Sorry. If your father has done that, sorry. If your mother has done that, sorry. There's nothing I can do. It will go down. And all these people who are doing land racketing. I'll talk to the staff tomorrow. There are lots of people involved. And let me tell you, that period of land marketing is what? Over. And those that government are giving CFO land, allocated land to them, they refuse to develop. And use that they are becoming land speculators. The land is gone. I'm going to revoke them. I will revoke, because I don't understand how you government will give you land to develop, then you keep the land that you may have paid for 200,000. You're not beginning to find who will buy for 2 billion and 3 billion. Who does that? will take back our land and give it to those who want to develop.
Now let's go to the streets of Abuja to see what the residents are saying about Wike being the FCT minister.
Yes, I have confidence that having governed the state for 8 years, he should have all those things at the top of his fingers. But the issue in Nigeria is the housing has multidimensional issues. Multidimensional issues in the sense that in big urban areas like Abuja, Kaduna, there is the issue of affordability. So my real advice for him is that you should continue with the subsidy, or continue with the issue of access through private developers, and then you should use the informal method to see that most people have access to buildable land. What is happening with Abuja is that the development has not followed the phasing in the master plan to the population anticipated by the master plan of 3 million is already surpassed. They say the territory is now more than 6 million. So it means that there is a lot of pressure to open up areas to provide infrastructure, provide housing, affordable housing, because there are empty houses in Abuja. But what we need now is affordable housing, and to ensure that those people who are committing to satellite towns, there is no congestion on the road.
Mr. Project, as he's fondly called, Mr. Wike, Nyesome Wike, we understand his work profile. While he was the governor of Rivers State, he did excellently well, and that's why they give him Mr. Project. We believe his appointment as the Minister of FCT is going to leave, he will leave no stone unturned to ensure that the state of FCT becomes better. Because while we had El-Rufai being the FCT minister, we've never had another minister that has done what El-Rufai did. But with Ms. Wike coming on board, we believe he's going to do tremendously well. Yes, in project and making the FCT, turning the face of FCT. Well, of course, he's a no-nonsense person by his personality. Well, the issue of land grabbing and all of that, we believe he's up to the task. Yes, he's up to the task. We believe he will deliver.
First, I will congratulate Wike and appreciate our President Tinubu. He really, in the terms of appointments, he did so much, because this is the first time that we witness somebody from far region coming to be FCT minister, and we are witnessing so many things that is not supposed to be in the federal capital. I believe they're coming by Wike. I know FCT will be a better city. And first thing is that he has to work hand to hand with the ages. If he can get some people that are sincere in ages, that will be able to put him through, so that all those land grabbers and all those people that are like corrupt in the system, that can go to the system and delete your name and put a new name. And I believe if he can get sincere people from the ages, he will be able to position everything well. So I believe, as far as Wike is a minister, in the issue of land and land grabbings and corruptions, if Wike is not dating his hand, which I know, others will be afraid of him, they will not do it.
Welcome back. Abuja residents are optimistic that the new FCT minister Wike will deliver on his mandate. A big congratulations to Nyesome Wike. Abuja residents believe in you and what you can do. Now, right after the break, Festus Adebayo will be having a chit-chat with some housing stakeholders as they set agenda for the new Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Dangiwa.
Sir, your sector have just got in fact, can I call it a boost? Because Ministry of Works have been separated from housing. How will you react to that?
Wonderful, fantastic. I think the president understands the importance of housing as a catalyst for economic development. There are different things you can do to stimulate the economy. We need to stimulate the economy by production, not this consumption business that we have been. Housing is a very strong catalyst for economic development. Apart from roads and infrastructure, apart from agriculture, housing is a very critical sector to look at. One, because it employs a lot of people. It develops a lot of skills. It has a lot of high content in terms of financial capital. Also, it helps the social, economic development of the human being, especially Nigerians. We are told that we have a shortage of about 70 million houses. It could be more, it could be less. But no matter what, we need to be able to develop at least 1 million houses every year. We may not be able to start with that, but we should be able to work towards it. And I believe that all the states should key in. And we're blessed, the country is blessed to have the kind of minister that we have who has experience, and he's been in this business for quite a while. So we're happy to have him, and we believe that we can hold him accountable. We're not going to be praying for him. We're going to hold him accountable. He doesn't need prayer. The prayer is to get him there. Now he's there. So we need to have all hands on deck to work with him.
And just when you said 17 billion houses, it made me remember that the former minister said he does not know where you get this, our figure of 17, 18 billion. So I don't know why you are still quoting that figure. However, let me leave you in that area. Let's go to what will you tell this minister to put as a priority?
Yes, well, the first thing the minister should do is to bring all the stakeholders together. That means those in mortgage, Nigerian Mortgage Bank, federal housing, the developers, the financiers, international agencies, bring everybody as a stakeholder. Find out what are the challenges and what is the way forward, and draw a roadmap. AIHS has done 90% of the work for him already. So he doesn't need to, it's just for him to meet those people, gather them, and then come together. The AIHS 2023 has a blueprint, a memoranda that he should follow. Everybody was there. So his work has been done for him, so he should pay you for that.
I will tell the revenue minister to pay me. That's interesting. Now, you talk, what should be the responsibility of those agencies under him? Now, he was formerly the Federal Mortgage Bank, yes. And I think by now, he knows the problem with Federal Mortgage Bank. And in the course of that, he was also related with Federal Housing Authority. So I think he also has experience on the operation of the Federal Housing Authority. Also, is the minister that was supervising him then, is Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. Yes. So now, I also believe you know the problem of works and housing. So therefore, what is your advice to him concerning those agencies under him?
Well, okay, like I said, you should bring all of them together, one. Number two, those agencies should stay within their purview of operation. If you're a mortgage bank, stay in mortgage. If you're FHA, stay in what you're supposed to do. Let others do the work. It's a collaboration kind of thing. It's not going to be a competition with anybody. We all need to collaborate to develop 1 million housing units a year at affordable prices. When I say affordable, it means a lot of other things will come in. You may be able to build a house for 1 million and the government might sell.
How do you think they can develop affordable housing? Maybe I don't understand what you mean by affordable housing. Yes. In the present Nigeria, we have our dollar is going down every day. We have all our building materials are imported. I don't know whether you are talking of made in Nigeria house. How do you think it's
we can do something. The way we're going to have to build affordable houses is not the way we're building. If you're going to produce cars, if you are building it one by one, you will never get it right. We need to do systems building of housing, and infrastructure must go with it. The idea will be to do long-term bonds, not money from the budget. And you can look at 10 years, not 10 years funding, but 50-year funding, which makes it easier for people to pay. Okay, because the house will always be there. The house will last 20, 25 years. So if you're looking at that, you need to raise a bond that will stretch funding to at least 25, 30 years. If we can go to 50 years, why not? Jakonde did it in Lagos State when he was there, and he was able to get foreign funding for a long-term bond. So There are ways that the government can do it.
So what do you think should be the role of private sector in this new, in that ministry? He said the ministry is not going to embark on a direct construction.
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't go into finance. They shouldn't go into construction.
They should not.
No
direct construction.
No direct construction.
You said it should be no go area for them.
It should be no go area for
then
them.
What
because they can't do it. And they don't have the competence, they don't have the capability, they don't have the capacity in the ministry.
Festus Adebayo there with architect John Antonio setting agenda for the new Minister of Housing and Urban Development.
The Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, architect Ahmed Dangiwa, has charged housing stakeholders to leverage on each other's expertise to move the housing sector forward. The minister, during his inaugural address with ministry directors, staff, and CEOs of agencies and parastatals in Abuja, emphasized the importance of teamwork, innovation, hard work, and open communication in delivering the mandate of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as far as housing is concerned.
As we begin this new chapter together, I want to emphasize the importance of teamwork, collaboration, innovation, hard work, and open communication. I expect all of us to work as a cohesive unit, leveraging each other's expertise to deliver on His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu renewed hope agenda and ambitions vision for housing.
Having assumed office as the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Dangiwa, in his words, assured that he would take bold initiatives, champion strategic housing reforms, and break system barriers to revamp housing and urban development in Nigeria.
The Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, which has just been splitted and made a ministry of itself, it carries a huge responsibility. We need to know that. It is designed to play a fundamental role towards ensuring that Nigerians have access to affordable housing and that our communities are decent, safe, and livable. I also believe that the responsibility of this ministry is to create an enabling environment and formulate policies that empower the agencies under my supervision to perform their functions optimally. This will be a central focus of my leadership, and I urge you all to work in alignment with this vision.
He listed among several plans and priorities to work closely with the National Assembly to review relevant laws so as to streamline land and housing administration and create a conducive environment for investment in the housing sector.
Several plans and priorities we want to roll out is that first, we will work closely with the National Assembly to review all the relevant laws and streamline land and housing administration and create a conducive environment for investment in the housing sector. Because National Assembly is one arm of government that if you leverage on their cooperation, you will achieve a lot, especially when it comes to review laws that sometimes deter you from that. If you take the Land Use Act, it has been established since 1978, I think. It has never been reviewed. And we, as the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, we have to ensure that we champion that land review and many other things. We also prioritize the 500 billion naira recapitalization of the Federal Mortgage Loan of Nigeria to give it leverage and enhance its ability to provide more affordable mortgage loans and rent-to-own options to Nigerians. That's why we have to reform the FMBN, the Federal Housing Authority, and other housing agencies so that they can have necessary capacity and the technological edge to deliver world-class services to Nigerians. Our goal is to ensure that these strategic agencies are more effective and efficient in delivering at massive scale, decent and quality housing to Nigerians nationwide. Doing so will also help towards unlocking the massive power of construction industry that create jobs and contribute its quota towards achieving His Excellency's plan to grow economy, boost inclusive growth, and lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty.
He urged all stakeholders to embrace the opportunity and work with passion and dedication, be proactive and diligent so as to collectively transform the Nigeria's housing landscape.
Festus also had a chat with Emmanuel Hakeem, the MD and chairman of FIMPA. Take a listen.
Yes, if you are just joining us, you are welcome to the special edition of Housing Development Program on television, where we look into trending issues, especially in the housing industry. Today, I have with me my partner, usual partner in this type of discussion, Mr. Emmanuel Hakeem, the former head of private sector at the African Development Bank, and now the managing director and chairman of FIPA, one of the leading finance fundraising organization in the country. Sir, we are happy to have you here. Then go to FCT. He said there's new saving in town. And
yeah.
Name.
Yeah, FPRL.
How do you see Wike performing as a minister of FCT? Because we have already having people from another part of the country. I think it's only one time we got one from the south, and then from that time now we're having somebody from the south. Looking at the record of Wike coming to the FCT and its antecedents, what is your feeling about Wike? Most especially when you look at the land grabbing, flooding, poor infrastructure in the FCT, real estate developers, and all sorts of activities, both genuine and counterfeit. What can you say?
If we have a new leader in the country and you want the country to have good governance, it can even cause to another party to bring someone, even though we know Wike's case is different, he's being rewarded for the job that he did in Rivers State. But aside from that political angle, the president can go to Labour Party or any other party if they agree and bring someone that I feel is talented. My own relief as a person is that Wike will be better than the one we had before. That's the previous one.
Why?
Because for me, the previous minister of FCT, like Jessica, carefree, largely insensitive, and reluctant to do his job. That's my own assessment. I was the president of AFDB Cooperative, Nigeria Cooperative Society, and we visited him. And my assessment coming from that visit and what happened after that.
Your assessment is not based on the inability to get land from him, or just your assessment of his.
It's not about inability to get land from my group, but inability to attract the investment, multi-billion naira investment that my group wanted to bring to Nigeria, because AFDB Nigeria Cooperative Society at that time was the membership was from all Nigeria, all staff in Nigeria country office, and all Nigerians in the 43 other countries in Africa. So you can imagine the size of that group. Our first tranche of investment was being estimated in the region of 8 billion naira. That was the first phase for investment. That man truncated the arrangement.
Somebody said the minister is a KIV minister. I tried to understand what the meaning of KIV. They say keep in view.
Because
I was keeping in view.
Because I didn't like signing CFO and all of that. So my immediate response is that
that's why we have a lot of land.
Yes, because most of the problems in Abuja FCT had to do with physical development. And based on antecedent of Wike, I hope he can transform his physical activity from building only bridges down to building the entire system. Right. There are a lot of beautiful houses in the middle of nowhere without access road. If you can help us concentrate on that. Even if he's dancing once in a while to entertain us, that is perfectly okay. Me, I enjoy his entertainment like this. I enjoy that one. But beyond that, it depends on his motivation. If Wike is energetic, he has an idea of what development is all about, And if based on that, he has a positive motivation that I'm from a different political party, working for this upper, I want to prove to the world that I can make this FCT to become a better place. I think it's something positive for the country.
There you have it, Festus Adebayo there with Emmanuel Akinwumi. Well, for want of time, that is where I'll be wrapping up today's episode of Housing Development. Thanks for watching. I remain your housing diva, Fleur Annie. See you next week. Bye.